Hello, world. Welcome to God's Kitchen Table, a podcast with myself, Lily Price, Elise Alford, William Cheshire, Ethan Caruta, I don't know. And then today we have Declan Miles on as our first guest. Hailing from theological discussions on TPS campus and forums, we're going to discuss several different issues in Christianity today. Starting broadly, we'll discuss Christianity and the church as a whole, and then move to specific issues and topics that are controversial among the high church and interdenominational structure of Christianity in our world today. For this episode today, we are going to be pranking William, first off, and then we're also going to be talking about humor in the Bible. This is our April Fool's episode.
Yeah, so Declan, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? Your name, age, and favorite type of cheese. Is that what we do?
Name, age, favorite type of cheese.
I'm Declan Miles, 17, and I know what's not my favorite cheese, Swiss.
That's
Okay.
fair. All right. So today we are going to try to prank William. We don't know how this is going to go, but we started 15 minutes earlier than we told him that we would start, and whenever he comes, we're going to do our iconic outro really fast and pretend like we did the entire episode without him and end the meeting and then come back. And I think that's all that we had planned.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes.
We need to let it run for a minute, though, so we get his reaction.
Yeah.
Or we could just roast him, just go full-on roast mode, acting exactly. So, yeah, well, William, kind of glad that he didn't show up today. It was a little bit, theology was a little bit shaky with him,
Well, this William person's letting us down. Declan, he's usually on time, but
No, he's
I
not.
think he got scared. Oh wait, he's not usually on time. Never mind. He's not usually on time.
William's going to show up like as it's the last 5 seconds.
Yeah. He's going to be even more confused.
He's going to show up, we're all going to leave, and he's going to be like, what just happened?
We've literally been on the meeting for 40 minutes. That was not the plan. Maybe he's pranking us back.
Maybe.
That thought already occurred to me.
There's no way, though. He's not. I don't think he has the brain power to
I
do it.
don't think he's that
The thing
awake.
is, it's William. He likes humor too much.
Yeah, true.
Here he is.
All right, finally. Well, that was the end of our episode. So, and that's all for now, guys. Tune in next time for the Q&A. Hope you have a nice day, and thank you.
Bye, everyone. See you next week.
That was a good discussion. All right.
Whoa, who's the guest?
Declan Miles.
William, we had to do it without you.
We literally just did the entire episode waiting for you. He doesn't even have anything to say for himself.
So how did the planning process go down? That's what I want to hear. Like,
The
how
planning,
many group chats do y'all have in the dark web, and when did
Just
it,
one.
yeah.
we only have like 23 or something. Our original plan was actually to do the whole episode without you, and then we were like, that's kind of mean, so we would pretend to do the whole episode without you, but we were actually going to include you, so you should be thankful. You're forever
Grateful.
ahead for that.
Should be thankful for.
Thankful for us being nice.
Yeah, our mercy.
Yes, trying to be like Jesus in every way possible.
We did actually fully plan it about 20 minutes before execution, so that's how much thought was put into it. Anyways, so why don't you go ahead and start with whatever you had for humor in the Bible.
Okay. All right. So, do we need to do an intro? Has somebody already done the intro since y'all had 30 minutes of pulling my leg? Good. Glad y'all got that down.
30 minutes, we got something done at least.
Yeah, that's more than I was expecting. Let's be completely honest here. Alrighty. So, for humor, first I'm gonna have to be a killjoy because I've always said if there's a specific reason why I go to hell, it's because my humor takes me by the wayside. In passages like Ephesians 5:4 says, "Nor should there be obscenity, foolish talk, or coarse joking, which are all out of place, but rather thanksgiving. For of this you can be sure, no immoral, impure, or greedy person, such as a person in an idolater, has an inheritance in the kingdom of God." So, do I believe God has humor? Yes. Do I believe Christ had humor? Yes. Do I believe it's okay that we have humor? Of course. I'm a jokester guy. But at the same time, we do need to be careful with our humor. But now that that's out of the way, first off, I see passages like 1 Kings 18:27 through 29, in Does God's Servants Have Humor? And that is a resounding yes. Let me flip there. You can't read this passage and not laugh. It's just hilarious. So this is Elijah on Mount Carmel, and he's mocking the prophets of Baal. Then they called on the name of Baal from morning till noon. "Baal, answer us," they shouted, but there was no response, and no one answered, and they danced around the altar that they had made. At noon, Elijah began to taunt them. "Shout louder," he said. "Surely he's a god. Perhaps he is deep in thought, or busy, or traveling. Maybe he's sleeping and must be awakened." That's just, I think some other translations, maybe even the original Hebrew, also mention like maybe he's using the restroom or something. It's Elijah clearly had some glee and some humor there. In addition, I go to passages like John 20, John 23 through 6. So in the account of the gospel by John, he refers to himself as the disciple whom Jesus loved. So John 23 through 6 says, "So Peter and the disciple started for the tomb. Both were running, but the other disciple outran Peter and reached the tomb first." Now, this is very serious. Christ had just died 2 days before. They're going to see if he had truly been resurrected, kind of to check on him. But still, and this just this little gem, John writing in, yeah, the disciple who Jesus loved was faster than Peter and beat him in a race to the tomb.
It's like, hey guys, when Peter should have been running his best to go see Jesus, I beat him.
Exactly. Alrighty, and then finally,
don't forget, I'm the fastest. Not just the one who Jesus loved, but I'm also faster.
Yes. And then, does God himself have humor? I'm going to say yes again, because there's passages in the Old Testament, like 2 Samuel 5, 1 through 5, when Israel was kind of taking the Ark of the Covenant around kind of as a good luck token into battles, and then the Philistines captured it. And as it kind of made this tour of Philistine cities, you had Dagon, a Philistine god, falling down, like losing his arms and his hands. My favorite part of this is the golden hemorrhoids that God inflicts on the Philistines. I'm just going to say, I'm not going to this deep for obvious reasons, but I just got to say, I think God has a sense of humor if he's inflicting something called golden hemorrhoids on his enemies. And then there's other passages like Mark 14:52, Acts 19:16. The latter one is when there was a man trying to call out spirits in the name of Christ, but he was not doing it correctly, and the spirit turned on him and then hopped into other guys, and they attacked the man who had done it incorrectly, and he was left. He ran out of the house screaming, bleeding, and naked. I think passages like that, but most specifically John 1, 43 through 49. This gives me hope for all teenagers because Christ himself used sarcasm. So John 1, 43 through 49 says, actually, I'll start in verse 40. "Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, was one of the two who had heard what John had said and who had followed Jesus. The first thing Andrew did was to find his brother Simon and tell him, 'We have found the Messiah, that is the Christ.' And he brought him to Jesus. Jesus looked at him and said, 'You are Simon, son of John. You will be called Cephas,' which then was translated to Peter. The next day, Jesus decided to leave for Galilee. Finding Philip, he said to him, 'Follow me.' Philip, like Andrew and Peter, was from the town of Bethsaida. Philip found Nathanael and told him, "We have found the one Moses wrote about the law, and about whom the prophets also wrote, Jesus of Nazareth, the son of Joseph." "Nazareth? Can anything good come from there?" Nathanael asked. "Come and see," said Philip. When Jesus saw Nathanael approaching, he said, "Really true is an Israelite in whom there is no deceit." "How do you know me?" Nathanael asked. Jesus answered, "I saw you while you were still under the fig tree before Philip called you." So, here truly is an Israelite in whom there is no deceit. I think is pretty clear sarcasm. And, yeah. So, God and his workers both have senses of humor.
That's great.
You talked about Dagon and the Philistines. You know what happened to the Philistines' gods now? Dagon.
They are very, very gone.
I found something great if you think about the laws in the law books as every single one of them, if someone has someone's name written on it, they can be a lot funnier than you think. And one of them that I found was gold. It was in Leviticus 19. This chapter just has a bunch of laws and commands, but there's one slightly concerning one right in the middle. Like throughout the chapter, it's talking about stuff like don't lie, don't steal from each other, don't rob each other. And then right in the middle, it says, "Do not curse the deaf or put a stumbling block in front of the blind, but fear your God, I am the Lord." And it really looks like the Israelites were taking April Fools so far that God had to calm them down, tell them to stop cursing at the deaf and tripping the blind. And I was like, man, that's great. So, guys, just be careful because even the Bible, even God had to warn the Israelites not to take April Fools too far and trip all the blind people and insult the deaf. That was interesting. God felt the need to make that one of the laws in Leviticus.
Yeah, that's great. One funny that I found was Genesis 11, so the building of the Tower of Babel. So verse 4 starts, "Come, let us build ourselves a city with a tower that reaches to the heavens, so that we may make a name for ourselves, otherwise we'll be scattered over the face of the whole earth." And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower. And the Lord said, "Come, let us go down," and confuse their language. So they're doing this whole thing. Like, we're going to build a tower to heaven. We're going to, do all this great stuff. And then God's like, "No, we have to go down. We have to go down to see them."
That's great.
I just want everybody to remember that the Bible does predict modern technology. Because first of all, we have the fall of AI, and then we have Zechariah 4:7. "Who are you, O great mountain? Before Zerubbabel you shall become a plain."
Oh my word. The fall of AI is crazy.
Find the one I had about a car. Oh, here it is. God may favor Dodge pickup trucks since the Israelites were warned not to follow Moses up the mountain until the ram's horn sounds a long blast.
I think Jesus had something against Honda because he never spoke of his own accord.
Oh my word. When did we turn into middle-aged dads? Sorry, when did you turn into middle-aged dads?
We had a lot of time to just sit here and compare jokes, okay?
That's
I
fair.
have more than 40 of these jokes for sure.
Oh my word.
I think one of the great stories is in 2 Kings chapter 2. And so put it here because it's got great wording on its own. It says, "From there Elisha went up to Bethel. He was walking along the road. As he was walking along the road, some boys came out of the town and jeered at him. 'Get out of here, Baldy,' they said. 'Get out of here.' He turned around and looked at them and called down a curse on them in the name of the Lord. Then 2 she-bears came out of the woods and mauled 42 of the boys. And he went on to Mount Carmel, and from there returned to Samaria." And the story's a little shocking, but also like funny. I guess it's not funny that 42 of the kids died, but it's hilarious that they died for calling him Baldy and that God used bears to kill them. And
Bears
didn't
especially.
The moral to the
They were
story is
mauled.
watch out for
There's a
bald guys.
slight difference. They weren't killed.
yeah,
Necessarily. but we're not sure. They might
It would just
succumb to
blown
their.
up.
Fair enough. I definitely get a laugh out of this because my dad's bald, and my friends used to refer to him as Baldy or like the bald guy in Hindi. And when I told my dad that's what they called him, the next day at church, we did that story, and they all kind of just like went silent, and they haven't called him since. It's just great that that's what
Funny.
all of my teenage friends called him, and then that's exactly what that story's about. I always think that's so.
No.
Okay, so this is probably my favorite joke of all time.
Oh, brother.
It's slightly poking fun at Catholic theology. No offense, Catholics who are listening. So, Jesus is out teaching and preaching to the crowd, and all of a sudden the crowd parts and the Pharisees come and they're dragging this woman to the crowd, and they say, Teacher, teacher, we found this woman in adultery. What should we do with her? Should we stone her? And Jesus turns to the crowd and he stretches out his arm. He says, Let him who is without sin cast the first stone. And the crowd, they're a little bit good and nervous. A couple people are shuffling their feet, walking away. And then all of a sudden, from the back of the crowd, whizzes, a big stone comes flying up. Jesus looks at the back of the crowd and goes, Mom, I hate it when you do that.
That's bad.
Is it wrong that I want to tell that one to my Catholic grandparents?
Do it.
Gosh, that is actually pretty good. Wow.
While we're talking about stones,
Oh no.
hold on. I gotta remember where this joke was on this long list I have.
I think the biggest joke is y'all hearing my cackle just now. That was impressive.
Thanks for turning
Oh,
volume up
yeah.
on the tackle.
So, do you know who the best babysitter in the Bible was?
Oh no.
David.
Brother.
He rocked Goliath to a very deep sleep.
No, I was about to say, while Declan's looking for his joke, let me tell you this one, and it was that one. That was like here.
I thought y'all were going to say Solomon since he wanted to cut it in half. Is it good?
Oh,
Supervisor, yeah.
I always love how Genesis is like a baseball game. It says in the beginning, Eve stole first, Adam stole second, Cain struck out Abel, then the giants and angels were rained out.
Don't forget the prodigal son ran home.
true. My mom found this really cool bit in the Bible because she studied tropical medicine for a while. But it was like, when is medicine first mentioned in the Bible? And it's when God gave Moses 2 tablets.
So, do you know who was the most disappointed when the prodigal son came home?
Who?
The fattened calf.
That's real. That's very real. Yeah. Yep.
I had another funny Bible verse. It was I don't think we said it yet. Acts 20:9-10. And a man named Eutychus, I probably said that completely wrong, sitting at the window, sinking deep into sleep as Paul talked still longer. And being overcome by sleep, he fell from the 3rd story. I think he got more fresh air than he bargained for.
That's a great one. I think probably the favorite joke I found was the Bible has proven to be 100% accurate, especially when thrown at close range.
Listen, a holy smack will get you a long ways in the world. That's fact.
See, the Bible is 100% accurate, but if you believe only 12.5% of it, you'd be an atheist.
Going back to what Declan said about the boy who fell out the window, I saw a meme once, and it was,
The doctor wrote about the guy falling out the window, not the guy who made him fall asleep because he talked too long.
Right.
Paul, yeah, that time that I preached that really, really boring sermon and the kid fell out the window, well, I guess nobody will remember that. And then Luke just sitting there in the corner smiling.
He couldn't pass the opportunity. Speaking of Luke, What's the best way to study the Bible? You look into it.
Oh my word. That's not even good. Elise, your standards are so low. Come on. We peaked at sadly, the Immaculate Conception Mary joke. That was, yeah.
See, did you know that Paul was a baker? They said he went down to Philippi.
I always think whenever Paul goes to see Philemon, he just like gives him a high five and he's like, "High five, Philemon."
Two scientists were debating whether or not they need God. Finally, they approach God and they say, God, we've come to the conclusion that we don't need you anymore. And God says, oh, really? How about this? If you can make a better human from dirt than I can, you win the argument and you don't need me. One of the scientists is like, okay, yeah, I can do that. He reaches down and he picks up some dirt and some mud and he's trying to make a little human. And God goes, no, you can't do that. You have to go get your own dirt.
There you go. That's a good one.
So one, I was thinking about how people like read the Bible and study the Bible a whole lot more as they get older. I figured out they're cramming for a final exam.
You know, everyone talks about how, the Pharaoh's daughter was like the greatest find in the Bible because she went down to the bank and drew out a little profit. But I really think it was Noah because he was floating his stock while everyone else was in liquidation.
That was a good one. Yeah, but if you ever need a boat, I know a guy. He's a great architect. The second part got William. The first one you were like, but the second part gotcha.
All right, for fear that you think I came unprepared for jokes, you ready for this one? Who was the first drug addict in the Bible?
No.
Nebuchadnezzar. He was on grass for 7 years.
It's true.
I thought about using that one, but I'm like,
I know. I was like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
No.
One, but how do you make holy water? You take normal water and you boil the devil out of it.
So I'm going to use the classic one. You know how Moses makes his coffee?
Mm-hmm.
He brews it.
That's it. That's in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Yeah.
Let's see. Another Moses one. Oh, the fun fact about Moses was he was the only person to break all 10 commandments at once. It's like Ethan was doing mental math for a second.
You can just 10 seconds too late. It's the best part.
So Jesus and his gospel are our bread and butter. We feed on Jesus and spread the gospel.
That
was so cheesy.
was good. I set the all-time low for the jokes with the Luke into it, so all of yours are just gonna be...
Yes, you did.
It's just uphill from there, William.
Ethan peaked.
All right, hold on. I might be able to make one that's even better. Or even worse, technically. But you know what the wise men said after they gave Mary and Joseph and baby Jesus the gold and frankincense?
Oh, brother,
wait,
I've heard
here's
this.
where...
Yep.
What?
That's so much.
What did they say? Sorry.
But wait, there's myrrh.
No.
Lily and
No,
William.
that would be
There's slow blink and nod.
That's not.
No, William, that's a great one. That one's so good. I love that one.
Listen, our podcast listening statistics are going to go way up for men in between the ages of 40 and 65. So
You're welcome. All right, so which book of the Bible is 80% truth?
I don't know.
Ruth. Oh,
I
guys,
never even heard that before, and I could figure it out.
Yeah.
I gotta...
Who was the best DJ in the Bible?
Oh. Wait, no, I've heard this one. I'm trying to remember what it was. It was Jesus. No. I don't know.
You're right, but why?
Because he was Flipping table? I don't remember. Wait.
Because he turned tables.
Okay, it was close.
Did you know that there were stores back in Bible times that are still around today? Luke 2:14 says, "Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill toward men."
Good. That was good. For everyone listening, you can't see everyone nodding slowly at how corny these are.
Yeah, there's a lot of judgment. Oop, I gotta go. But thank y'all for tuning in this week. We hope we didn't. Well, I know I didn't, but I hope the others didn't scare you away with all of the dad jokes. Please tune in next week for a Q&A episode and maybe a little bit about women's roles in the church. Thank you.